Good afternoon and good evening to all. Myself Vaibhav. I welcome all of you to today's session of Visual JForex, in which we will be considering the uses of Parabolic SAR, which stands for Stop and Reverse, the SAR. We will see how we can take the advantage of this indicator to look for the opportunities in the financial market in the instrument of our choice. So let us now head to the Visual JForex board, which has been developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA. You will find this indicator listed amongst the other indicators just below the RVI, below S&R, actually support and resistance, and this is stop and reverse parabolic, because we will see that most of the time when the underlying instrument is trending, we will get a curve which will be of parabolic nature. That's why it is called parabolic SAR, and we get this single output value depending on how we define these five input parameters. We will go with a default setup. We will be not tinkering much with the acceleration and maximum output. Instead, we will be mainly concerned with these two parameters, the candle period and the lookback period. And default instrument will remain Euro USD. I will explain to you the logic on the JForex chart. This is the AUD JPY chart, which I will change to Euro USD. There is the Euro USD chart with the candle period being hourly. And as you can notice, when the underlying instrument is trending, we see the continuous momentum providing good trading opportunity. But when the underlying instrument is sideways, then there are many false identifying signals generated by the SAR indicator. So we have to go for a simple setup, which will also take the fact into consideration that in circumstances where the underlying instrument is not really trending, rather it is going sideways, we have to pick and choose. We can't go for every trade once the signal is generated. So in addition to the relying of this SAR output, we will also consider some additional measures like considering the volatility and the price break on either side. So the logic is going to be simple. We will be looking to trade with the trend. So whenever we see a break happening on the bullish side, when we see the SAR outputs upper line being breached, we will go for the long trade. And when we see the SAR output line is breached on the lower side, we will go for a sell trade. But as I said, we can also get many false trade. To make sure we don't really get involved into every trade, we will also add one additional condition that the last hourly candle close should be above the closing value of the hourly candle which had closed 12 hours back. So that will ensure that the price momentum is significant enough to make sure that it is above the last 12 hours closing values. And for sell trade, we will also put in similar condition that the closing value of the last hourly candle close should be below the closing value of the hourly candle which had closed 12 hours back. And only if that is the case, we will go for the initiation of the trade. And also, the closing value needs to be below the second last hour's SAR output value, while the opening price needs to be below the last hour's SAR output value. So that will ensure this break on the SAR line and initiation of a new trade. And to additional measure, we can add that whatever is the difference between these two output values of the SAR, the last hour's SAR output and the prior hour's SAR output, we can take that into consideration also and can place the order accordingly. So that can also be done. So we will see to it that the trade entry is at the opportune moment, not in a situation where the likelihood of ending the trade on a loss making note will be higher. So we have to keep the algorithm simple as well as take some measures, some precautions which will help us avoid the losses when the underlying instrument is trading sideways. And when the underlying instrument is trending, we will have a lot of opportunities to make money. That's the use of this SAR indicator. Now let us head back to the Visual JForex board. Here I will change these SAR's input parameter. This will be changed to hourly, and the lookback period will be defined at 1, and we need one more of the SAR output. So for that I will take one more of the SAR indicator block. Here also the candle period needs to be changed. I will change it to hourly again, and the lookback period of 2. Okay, but first thing first, we have to get the instrument subscription done. For that I'm going to rely on logical blocks. So here, as usual, as is the customary practice, we get these 3 blocks in place. This time around we will use on tick as the initiation point. Now coming to the default instrument, we will match it with the tick instrument. And tick instrument will in turn be matched with the instrument of choice, which is going to be Euro USD. Here, I think I might have overlooked Euro USD somewhere, so it's taking a bit more time. Let's do it one more round. This is frustrating, so let us zoom in, and this time around it shouldn't take much time. Okay, here it is. First input equals second input. Again, first input equals second input. Then coming to defining of the third if block, we have to make sure there is no existing open or pending order on the account. So for that I am defining second input parameter as 0. So all position amount should be equal to 0, then only a new order will go through the system. And to rely on the SAR, we also have to consider the price volatility. So for that I'm going to add info components, get historical candle, okay. So here I will change this to hourly, shift value of 1 and this will be changed to hourly, and the loopback period of 12. Okay, so we have this formation in place. Now to consider the exact entry point, we will also be taking the help of 10-second blocks, and those who are regular viewers might be well aware of the uses of this 10-second block. We use this to initiate the trade. Look back period of 1 and 2 respectively. All right. Then we have to consider the difference between these SAR output. So for that I will get calculation expression block, mathematical component, we will have to do the calculation both ways when the last hour's SAR output is greater than prior hour's SAR output, as well as when the last hour's SAR output is lower than the prior hour's SAR output. So for that we are going to need two of this. So let us get the calculation done, which we then can utilize while setting the conditions. So we take SAR 11 and deduct SAR 12 once, and in the second calculation we take SAR 12 and deduct SAR 11. When the trend will change from bearish to bullish, we will have to deduct last hour's SAR output from the prior hour's SAR output. As the trend goes on the bullish side, we will see that SAR formation will be on the lower side, while in the prior hour it was on the higher side. And when the trend turns bearish, we will have the SAR output on the higher side, while in the prior hour it was on the lower side. So here I will name the first instance as, first let's do it as per the Excel convention, A1 minus A2. This will be sell side difference, and this will be buy side difference. So again A1 minus A2, and then this newly created variable. All right. So we have these two newly created variables which will bring us the actual difference of the SAR output values. So with this, we stop for the day. I hope you have been able to understand the logical formation and then the execution part of it to some extent. We have gotten in place these indicator blocks and the info blocks along with these logical blocks to ensure that we have most of the parameters which we need to define the execution of the trade for the bullish environment as well as the bearish trade setup. And in the subsequent session, I will be explaining to you the conditions which need to be defined for the execution of the trade in a optimum manner. So that's it from my side for today's session. For any queries or any idea, you can write back to me in the feedback section. For further coverage of the market developments, do check out the Dukascopy Analytics page. We are also available on the Facebook. You can reach out to us there. For carrying out the testing and also for trading purposes, you will need the assistance of the JForex platform. All these links have been provided in the bio. Thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous weekend ahead. See you on Monday. Till then, goodbye.